All right, for our final game today, we have on the 2v2 version of Boneyard, a 2v2. And this is a 2v2 match that is played out by just a bunch of randos on the Discord, including Aftermath's Albino in the blue. And his partner, I should say, teammate, is Gobsmack in the teal Celestial. And this is going to be up against Marksman in the red Infernal and Kezic in the orange Celestial. Okay, so again, if you are a regular on the Discord, you will recognize a lot of these players' names. And of course, Albino is a well-known, high-ranked pro player who tends to show up in a lot of tournaments and has a really good showing in those tournaments. Also a streamer that if you have the opportunity, go check out his stream. It's a nice stream. And let's see how this 2v2 goes down. Let's see what kind of tech we're dealing with. We got Rax first out of Albino. We've got a double creation chamber coming out of Gobsmack. And up here it looks like team creeping, Hexen and the Sovereign's Watch. So we got a collection array and a creation chamber here. We got conclave tech and vault tech, it looks like. All right, so far we're getting an expo out of these two, but no expo yet out of Gobsmack. Gobsmack went for creation chamber instead. And what's this? Ooh, Morph Core hiding in the back. What are you doing, Mr. Morph Core? We got some farms going down here for Marksman. Those are like some nice static D and a little bit of scout farms just to preemptively see anyone coming in. And maybe he's planning to go for an expo himself. Maybe that's what that's about. And you'll notice that Boneyard is different in this 2v2 version. There's also a creep camp right here. The vision towers have been moved because there's been some Ethereum nodes added. It's just an interesting, different map on the 2v2. Morph Core still not morphing. Still just floating happy out there. Couple link nodes going down for some static D here as well. No pressure out of either of these. Often team games are rush, but neither rushing. In fact, Kezic is on his third collection array already. More creation chambers. One. Just two creation chambers, I guess. And out of Marksman, we now have a ritual chamber, so I'm imagining we're going to see some plaguey axes out there. We got an expo now coming out of Albino. And it looks like maybe also an expo coming out of Gobsmack. Gobsmack's been focused on producing prisms, it looks like, and has a fully saturated base here. Not too many units coming out yet. Lots of sword boys out for Albino. And do we have units out? Yeah, here are some, a nice little mixture of units from Marksman and Argents out for Kezic. So, each player kind of just playing on their side. Oh, okay, that Morph Core deciding maybe I'm just going to fly back and make another, or make a creation chamber. And that might be a good idea. And by creation, I mean collection array, of course. And now we have Gobsmack and Albino moving out. Looks like maybe just to creep. Creep the tower. Creeping the tower at 4 minutes seems a little bit slow in the creeping here. But maybe these teams are a little wary about getting pressure. Again, as I mentioned, in these team games, it's often just early pressure. Luckily, there are shared bases here, but if you're in a map without shared bases, if you end up fighting 2 versus 1 in your base, you're probably going to lose. And that's often a strat that a lot of players use is early on, we're just going to make 2 sort of regular early rush armies, and then we're going to double up on one of the opponents so that they die, and then the other one has to carry it all by themselves. Which is often very hard to do. But not seeing that yet on this 2v2. We are seeing Albino maybe be a little bit aggressive here. Hedgehogs and Lancers, interesting choice. Hedgehog's very speedy, Lancer's a little slower. And right up in the vision camp, basically saying, come get me. I know you can see me, come get me. And getting on top of these Argents and actually doing some good damage. The Hedgehog's having to scurry away, but killing some Argents almost for free. We see Marksman's units coming up now, but Gobsmack has also shown up, soaking up in his Purify Ray. Get that sweet energy. And now trying to chase back these Brutes and Gaunts. Brutes and Gaunts. Trying to get them all the way back to the Argent Ball of Kezic. Trying to take the vision camp now. We have Argents down here dealing with some reinforcing Gaunts. That one Gaunt turns to fight. And wow, okay. This Argent Ball plus... wow, it's kind of a split. Albino's been forced back, but Gobsmack's pushing up on the bottom. Now Albino's pushing up, managing to kill some of those Argents.
An honorable end.
It is an honorable end, indeed. And these Argents from Gobsmack trying to do a little bit, but there's a consolidated army here from Marksman and Kezic. Although now we see Marksman moving away. And Kezic retaking this tower. So Gobsmack moving back, now making a Guardian Nexus and a Starforge on 3 arrays himself. And we got 2 bases here, plus a 3rd base down for Albino as well. And some surge buildings over here, producing for Marksman. Of course, that just speeds up your production. And are our upgrades done already? Do we already have Reaper's Rush? No. And is that because we don't have a Greater Shrine yet? I don't see one.
Darkness.
Darkness, indeed. And Albino now putting some pressure on Marksman here. While it looks like we're also going to get Kezic putting pressure on Albino down at the bottom. So this is almost like a base trade, but no, Albino is going to come back to try and protect his base. There's Sides and Argents in his base. A hangar bay going down. It looks like another hangar bay immediately going to be built. And the Hedgehogs come back to push this back, at least force them to fight the Hedgehogs instead of destroying buildings. And we got a respawn on the energy camp. They were going to try and go back there and soak up some energy, but they cannot. And these Argents and Sides are in full retreat, unfortunately, behind speedy Lancers with the upgrade and Hedgehogs. They're probably going to get chased down. And that's almost all the Argents down now. There are still some Sides, which if the Hedgehogs can siege up underneath, they can do some good damage on. Now Marksman's got a big old army that's going to try and come and help out. Gobsmack down here also rebuilding or building up a force. And here we have these armies joining up, the Sides joining up with the big brute force. And let's see, are they planning to push forward, or is this just defensive to protect this new base? I think this is just defensive positioning. The energy camp is taken out. These units just chilling out here on their front line. They're both teams here trying to establish a pretty good macro back end before pushing out. A couple of imps coming across here. What's their goal? Not super sure. Single Harnett doing some scouting. Going to see there is indeed a collection array here, and that collection array is going to start going down. It's going to have to be an answer from Kezic or Marksman, or that will be taken out. Already down to 3/4 life. And yeah, we do see Kezic moving his army out to try and deal with that. We see Marksman moving down, maybe to be aggressive. There is a sky mine there, but it's taken out. There's another one over here, protecting the retreat. A bunch of Bobs, interestingly, going to take this base over here. Meanwhile, we have this army in the middle catching some reinforcing weavers out and taking them down. And that army is now kind of flanked between Gobsmack's army and Albino's, although this is two armies right on top of Gobsmack, and there's Hellborns in the back. Now the flanker has been flanked, and wow, these units are going to go down, even though Albino has pushed in. Actually, somehow, miraculously, some of those Argents are still alive. The Fiends were trying to take them out, but there's still 4 Argents that stayed alive. These Hedgehogs and Lancers were able to push folks back. An Animancer going down, that's rough, having to lose an expensive unit like that. And it does kind of look like that stabilized for Gobsmack and Albino. It was a double flank. Both of them were flanking each other. Okay, those Hedgehogs focusing down some Hellhogs. Hogs on Hogs. Ooh, a nice Dark Prophecy going down. Although the Animaster gets taken out. And Albino is going to push this army back some more. Now it's just sides. There are Hornets now to engage. And there is the anti-air of the... Oh, wow. You do not want to fly into that. It's sort of like just running into siege tanks or something, but for air. Those anti-air sieged Hedgehogs. But now we see a larger force from Marksman coming to reinforce and try and deal some damage. So it's just regrouping for Gobsmack and Albino. Just retreating a bit. Regrouping. A lot of sabers here. And Albino sticking to what looks like a mostly Hedgehog attack with Medtechs in there to do the Nano Swarm, as we see. Like, what are these units? These are just mines. What are these units there? Hornets, they're the things that make the mines. They're going to take out this Saber, but there are some sides coming. So they zip on home, return to hangar. Here we have an army out. I thought it was approaching on this, but this base is actually on the high ground, so you need to zip around. Can't go through those trees. But the Argents can. Sabers can't. Interesting. Nice shots. The Sabers are trying to clear out the trees, but they cleared it out on this side. One Weaver going down. And enough trees going down that some Brutes can fit through there. And one Saber going down after a yoink. Now we have Albino pushing up here. There's Dark Prophecies going down on his army. He's pushing into Kezic's army, and Kezic loses his Animancers. Unfortunately, he's left with largely just Scythes and Argents. And, well, the Scythes are pushing back a little bit. There we go, the siege up of the Hedgehogs. Blah, 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 blah. Get out of here, Scythes. One Scythe going down. And then unsieging and being ready to do it again. Now down below here, it looks like Marksman's going for the Therium camp. And somehow snuck behind enemy lines. But again, it looks like we're still dealing with this Scythes up here, sieged up. Oh, just getting... Wow, look at the crazy range on that. They're killing this Arc Fortress too. What is the range on that? Seriously. 10, okay. I guess I don't really know. If someone tells me range of 10 in Stormgate, I don't really know what that means. It looked like it was flying very far. And this is not looking good up here for Kezic. His army got deleted. And now we're actually seeing Gobsmack down here. But Gobsmack's base is being chewed on by these ones. So we got a GG out of Kezic. I think he's lost, although he's still on 4 bases. So I don't know. That might be a premature GG. Gobsmack here. Also doing pressure, but there's this Marksman army showing up now. Come on, Meg, do your stompy business. Couple good yanks on some sabers. An extra yank on the saber. And now we have Hornets coming in. They're cleaning up this army. And that's a GG out of Marksman as well. Alright, I hope you like this 2v2. And stay tuned for more Stormgate games here on my Twitch, but also on my YouTube. Thanks for watching.